For years, the royal family has been a beacon of grace, tradition, and regal power. Yet, beneath the polished exterior of public appearances, a tempest of secrets has quietly simmered, ready to expose the hidden fractures within the monarchy. What the public has long been led to believe about the relationship between Camilla, King Charles, and Princess Diana is not just a scandalous affair, it's a betrayal that runs deeper, darker, and more treacherous than anyone ever suspected. Now, the explosive truth about Camilla'S past has emerged, as her former husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, breaks his silence in a jaw-dropping revelation that could rock the very foundations of the royal family. The affair that seemed to be an open secret now appears to have many more layers of deceit, pain, and manipulation than previously imagined. With Andrew's explosive revelations, the truth is about to surface in ways the royal family had hoped would remain hidden forever. What was once thought to be a mere affair between Charles and Camilla has now spiraled into a complex narrative of emotional betrayals, personal sacrifices, and tangled webs of royal intrigue. Could Princess Diana have been the only victim of this drama? Or has there been a far deeper betrayal that continues to haunt the royal family? Andrew's shocking disclosures leave more questions than answers, all leading to a dramatic and potentially devastating conclusion. What do these secrets mean for the monarchy's future? And will Camilla'S role in this ongoing scandal ever be truly accepted by the public and the royal family alike? Before the royal wedding of Charles and Diana in 1981, there was a forbidden romance that would turn the royal family's world upside down. Charles, the future king, and Camilla, the woman who would become his true love, shared a connection that was undeniable. Their affair began long before Diana entered the picture, dating back to the early 1970s, when they met at a party and quickly became inseparable. However, Camilla was already married to Andrew Parker Bowles, a military officer and aristocrat, and Charles, still a young man, was on his path to becoming the Prince of Wales. Their initial connection was a spark of chemistry, but it grew into something much more significant over the years. Despite their deep bond, both were bound by duty and expectation. However, the question remains, why did Camilla marry Andrew in the first place? Was it simply a matter of social convention, family pressure, and securing her place in society? Or was there love between them, however complex and elusive? Over time, it became clear that Camilla'S heart belonged not to her husband, but to Prince Charles. But why did she continue to remain in her marriage, when it was clear she was in love with someone else? The affair between Charles and Camilla continued in secret for years, and their relationship only deepened, despite the immense personal costs. What we thought we knew about Camilla'S marriage is only the tip of the iceberg. Did Andrew Parker Bowles know about the affair? Was he complicit in the deception, or was he, too, a victim of the hidden turmoil within the royal family? As Andrew Parker Bowles finally speaks out, these questions take on new significance, and the answers are far more disturbing than anyone could have predicted. For decades, Andrew Parker Bowles lived in the shadow of a scandal he never fully discussed. He was the husband who had to share his wife with a future king, though, for years, he remained publicly silent about the affair between Camilla and Charles. In an unexpected turn of events, Andrew has now chosen to reveal the truth about his marriage, his role in this twisted drama, and what he knew about the affair. His decision to speak out has sent shockwaves through the media, as the man who was once seen as a mere background figure in this royal love triangle now exposes the inner workings of a much more complex and shocking story. What Andrew reveals is far more complicated than the public ever realized. Contrary to the public's perception of him as an aloof and uninvolved husband, Andrew admits that he was not only aware of the affair, but he was also part of the family dynamics that allowed it to continue. The revelation that Andrew knew about the affair and chose to remain silent for so long is a bombshell, one that raises many questions about his complicity. Was Andrew simply protecting the royal family's reputation? Or was he, too, a victim of the emotional and social pressures surrounding his marriage? The deeper Andrew digs into the details of his relationship with Camilla, the more complicated the picture becomes. He reveals emotional moments, secrets, and conversations that paint a picture of a marriage that was anything but conventional. What's most disturbing is Andrew's admission that he was often forced to play a role in maintaining the image of a happy, functional family, even as he knew his wife's heart was elsewhere. His silence for so many years only raises more doubts. Was he protecting the royal family, or was he trying to protect himself? For Princess Diana, the truth about her husband's love affair with Camilla was one of the most painful realizations of her life. When Diana married Prince Charles, she believed in the fairytale dream of royal life. But the reality was far more tragic. Her discovery of Charles's long-standing affair with Camilla marked the beginning of a deeply emotional and public battle. Diana, known for her charm, beauty, and commitment to charity work, was suddenly thrust into the role of the betrayed wife, the victim of a heart-wrenching betrayal that would change the course of her life forever. While Diana's famous interview, in which she declared, "There were three of us in this marriage," has gone down in history as a defining moment of the royal scandal, it's important to remember just how much pain Diana endured. Behind the scenes, the princess was struggling with not only her faltering marriage, but also with the intense pressure placed on her by the royal family and the media. The pain Diana experienced as she watched her husband's heart remain with Camilla was more than just emotional. It was the destruction of everything Diana believed in. But what the public didn't know was just how deeply Diana's emotional state deteriorated as the affair unfolded. The princess confided in friends and family about her heartbreak and frustration, but the royal family continued to put on a brave face, maintaining the facade of unity. Diana's confrontation with Camilla, which came to a head at a public event, was a tragic symbol of her desperate attempt to reclaim her husband's love. "I want my husband," she declared, signaling the emotional breakdown that had been brewing for years. But it wasn't just an attempt to win back Charles. It was an act of defiance, an expression of the deep emotional cost she had paid. While the public scandal tore the royal family apart, one person remained conspicuously quiet about Camilla's affair with Prince Charles, Queen Elizabeth II. As the monarch who had dedicated her life to the preservation of the royal family's image, Queen Elizabeth was initially horrified by the revelations surrounding Charles and Camilla's relationship. Her disapproval was not just a personal matter, it was a political one, as her family's reputation hung in the balance. The Queen's response to Camilla was one of cold detachment. For years, Camilla was kept at arm's length, excluded from royal events, and denied the royal status she would later receive. The Queen, who had witnessed the collapse of Diana's marriage and the emotional toll it took on her family, was resolute in her refusal to embrace Camilla. Her disdain for Camilla was obvious, and yet, as time went on, the Queen's stance slowly began to soften. By the time Charles and Camilla married in 2005, Queen Elizabeth had grudgingly accepted the woman who had once been the source of so much scandal. The public's reaction to this acceptance was mixed, and many wondered if the Queen was simply bending to the pressure of public opinion, or if she was secretly conceding that Camilla had, in some way, earned her place in the family. But will Camilla ever truly be accepted by the British public? Or will she always be tainted by the legacy of her affair with Charles? In 2005, the world watched as Prince Charles and Camilla finally wed, but one element of the wedding shocked even the most seasoned royal watchers: Andrew Parker Bowles's attendance. The ex-husband of the bride, a man who had been at the heart of one of the royal family's most explosive scandals, was invited to the wedding, and his presence was not without significance. The decision to invite Andrew was, for many, a strange and puzzling choice. Was it a gesture of reconciliation between Andrew and Camilla? Was it an attempt to erase the past and move forward? Or was it a calculated decision, meant to demonstrate to the public that the royal family had moved beyond the scandal, accepting the past and embracing the future? Whatever the reason, Andrew's presence at the royal wedding sent a clear message: this was no ordinary royal union. It was a complicated, deeply entangled relationship that, for better or worse, would change the course of royal history. On the surface, Camilla and Andrew's marriage seemed to be a stable one. But as Andrew Parker Bowles himself has now revealed, the truth was far more complex. While their marriage was built on social and familial expectations, it was always clear that Camilla's heart was elsewhere. Her emotional attachment to Prince Charles was a secret that was never fully disclosed until now. Andrew's revelations have brought to light the quiet turmoil that simmered within their marriage. The couple, once seen as a quintessentially British aristocratic duo, were more emotionally distant than anyone could have realized. Andrew now admits that his marriage was a partnership of convenience, a social arrangement that concealed the deeper, more painful truth: Camilla's true love had always been Charles. The hidden dynamics of their marriage reveal just how much was sacrificed to maintain the royal facade. While Andrew and Camilla played the roles they were expected to, their personal lives were filled with heartbreak, betrayal, and an overwhelming sense of duty that kept them trapped in a situation neither of them could escape. The Parker Bowles family's role in this scandal is a critical piece of the puzzle that has remained largely unexplored. With their long-standing ties to the British aristocracy, they were no strangers to power, wealth, and influence. But were they aware of the affair that had been brewing for years between Charles and Camilla? Did they turn a blind eye to the scandal, or were they actively involved in helping to keep the truth hidden from the public? The Parker Bowles family's involvement in this affair has long been a mystery. Andrew's silence for so many years begs the question: was he protecting his family, his reputation, or something else entirely? As the full scope of the royal scandal becomes clear, it seems that the Parker Bowles family was more deeply involved than they ever let on. Their role in this complex web of royal betrayal is one that will likely be analyzed for years to come. The acceptance of Camilla into the royal family is one of the most complex and controversial issues facing the monarchy today. While she has gone from being seen as a scandalous mistress to the Queen Consort of England, her journey toward public acceptance has been slow and fraught with challenges. For many, Camilla will always be tainted by her past, and no amount of royal titles or public appearances will change that. But could the royal family's efforts to build a legacy of unity and modernization overcome the shadow of Camilla's affair with Charles? Only time will tell. As Andrew Parker Bowles's revelations continue to unfold, it's clear that the royal family's future is far from certain. Will they be able to overcome the legacy of this scandal? Or will the public's fascination with the hidden truths of the royal affair continue to haunt them for years to come? The secrets that have been kept for decades are finally coming to light, and the consequences for the monarchy are unknown. As the royal family attempts to rebuild its reputation, the truth about Camilla, Charles, and Andrew Parker Bowles will continue to shape the future of one of the world's most iconic institutions. Stay tuned, as the drama within the royal family is far from over. The shocking truths have just begun to surface.